A victory for Ukrainian forces as they retake the strategic town of Makariv, an important suburb in western Kyiv, allowing them to block the Russians from surrounding the capital. This as Russia continues to see setbacks on the front lines. A senior U.S. defense official says the Russian military has lost 10% of its combat power in Ukraine, and troops are running low on food and fuel. On CBN's Faith Nation, James Brooke, visiting fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, described Russia's dwindling combat power.
Putin is desperate. It's very clear. In less than 1 month, 3 times the number of tanks have been destroyed in Ukraine as were destroyed during a decade in Afghanistan.
With the invasion bogged down, there are fears Russia could turn to chemical weapons. One Russian official even refusing to rule out the use of nuclear weapons.
If it is an existential threat for our country, then it can be used in accordance with our concept.
We're day 28 into this war, and the estimates are that the Russians have lost between 10,000 and 16,000 of their soldiers, including 5 to 6 top generals. To put those numbers in perspective, during the Soviet 10-year war in Afghanistan, they lost about 15,000 troops.
In the south, Ukrainians still hold the besieged port city of Mariupol, despite constant pounding. More than 200,000 people have fled Mariupol. Only about 100,000 remain, and they're cut off from food and water and power. Ukrainian authorities say Russia detained 15 rescue workers from a humanitarian convoy bringing food and other supplies to people in the city. According to the UN Refugee Agency, 10 million people have now fled their homes in Ukraine, with more than 3.5 million seeking refuge in neighboring nations. Meanwhile, President Biden departs today for a NATO summit in Brussels, where he'll be discussing the possibility of keeping U.S. troops in Eastern Europe for the long term. On Friday, he'll go to Poland to discuss the growing humanitarian crisis. Charlene, CBN News.